Life happens when the tectonic power of your speechless soul breaks through the dead habits of your mind. The thing about habits and routines is that everybody has them. And some of them are external and everybody sees them. It's whether you get up and go for a run each day or you make coffee each morning. And then there's the internal habits and routines that take place in our mind. It's the difference between waking up and having a mindset that there's plenty of resources for the future that you dream of. And that it's totally possible for you to have the life that you hope for. And the other side is to wake up assuming that there's limitations and obstacles and that you'll never, ever get there. I know for myself, for so many years, I lived with this mindset that was based on the belief that I couldn't have the life that I longed for. And it was all wrapped around this tension because I couldn't seem to find a way to break through this speechlessness in my soul. And I couldn't find a language to translate the passion that was inside of me to the outside world, and I felt stuck. And so I would go internal. And I didn't know what to do with all these thoughts, as I would see people in the world that were successful, and then I felt so unsuccessful, and I couldn't see the difference. And so I spent years and hours studying and researching and trying to figure out what was the difference between successful people and myself. And the one primary thing that came up for me was that people who are successful take risks with their life. And those risks are based on the impact that they long to see in the world. And as I began to then take risks with my life based on that research, it was interesting how I just began to wake up excited and go to bed fulfilled. Because I had a clear vision with my life and I was taking risks in that direction and I would see the impact that my life could have. And I loved it because there's such a difference between that and just waking up and going through the motions. And so I wonder for you, how many days will go by before you start to take your routines back? The external ones and the internal ones. And how many days will go by before you start to own your future and start to take responsibility for the results and the future worth having for you? And as a coach, that's where my work comes in. As I stand beside you, as you take and carve out time to discover who you are at your core and the impact that you would give anything to make in the world. And we carve out a strategy and plan that's driven towards the results that you're looking for in your future. And so I have just one question for you. What is it that you're waiting for? It's time for a new routine.